It's the golden hour here in Alabama. The sunsets are beautiful, and it's championship week. So we have our first of two championship finalists right here on the call. So, Justin, it's an honor to have you on the call. Thinking about recent, one v one matchups that we've had and in the culture recently, Mike Tyson and Jake Paul come to mind. When you think about that comparison of your finals matchup with James, which character in the fight do you hope to be, Mike or Jake?
I mean, knowing the results of that fight, I hope to be Jake Paul, but I'm clearly the old guy, so I assume I was the Mike Tyson. But yeah, man, we'll see if I can Jake Paul young James in this final.
In which ways do you feel your team is most vulnerable? I mean, you've been the high scoring, you along with Miles, the two high scoring teams. You're coming off literally the best 2 week stretch in rookery history. But as we saw in James and Miles matchup last week, you can have one bad week, you can have one guy, give you a goose egg and that be it.
Yeah,
So where do you feel most vulnerable on your side of things?
yeah, good question. I'll answer like this: my least favorite thing right now is there's in those flex positions. I don't know who to play because there's like the Brian Thomas has been good, but not super reliable. Then like the Jonathan Taylor should be steady, but stupid Anthony Richardson ruins it because he's a terrible football player. And yeah, so I mean, I just think I could choose the wrong, three, um, and just not have the week that I should have with the roster that I have. I mean, and then honestly, man, I just feel like James's team with the ceiling with those receivers and running backs. There's just between Chase, Jefferson, Mixon, and Cook. I mean, those guys could all be number one, number two every week. So the main vulnerability is just going up against those players.
So as you think about who to play in this first week, what impulses or like data are you using to formulate your lineup?
Yeah, definitely more impulses than data. I'm just not a data guy. Um, yeah, I mean, I think I don't know if this is data or impulse, but I think I would aim towards the higher risk upside players than the higher floor, lower ceiling just because of James's roster. And then I always just look at the matchups, which I'm sure we all do, see who they're playing. Which I need to look. I haven't finalized anything, but I need to look closer and see. Um, I think AJ Brown may have a tough matchup, or we'll see. But yeah, I just look at the matchup and see how defenses that they're going up against have been playing, and hopefully I'll make the right decision. But that's always the big thing. Is you don't want to look at your team and be like, oh, I would have won if I had just been smarter. But it's all a guess. I was talking to Evan McCants yesterday, and he was kind of kicking himself for Jaden Reed and who he had Mooney had both had zeros. I was like, dude, it's just a guess. Those are both great players, and you have to pick one. So that could happen to any of us. So we'll see.
Looking at this week specifically, who do you think will be the X factor for you in determining whether or not this you're ahead after the first week or trailing?
Yeah. Um, I've got two to three wide receivers that can score with anybody. I mean, I really like where Puka's at, and would love to see him have another really high scoring game. Amon Ra, he showed out this past week and showed some high upside. And then I don't know. I got to look at Mike Evans' matchup. I think he's very volatile, but I love his high ceiling, which I'm glad I traded for him late in the year. And so yeah, maybe one of those receivers going off, maybe the X factor.
Yeah, and obviously so much is out of your control. But what's the thing that you're hoping James does that might be the closest thing to sabotaging himself in this first week?
Yeah, I think he's got a
Obviously,
tough.
other than sitting Chase or Justin Jefferson. What's like
Yeah,
something that
yeah.
you think? What's the thing you want him to do that you
He's
think
not
could
going to do
actually
that.
happen?
I mean, his quarterback situation's tough for him. Like he's got to guess and pick. I think it's Stroud and Caleb Williams. So hopefully he picks the wrong guys both weeks. And also here's another X factor for him. Maybe I shouldn't share it, but I noticed that I mean I feel like Jerry Judy's been a massive, help for him. But I noticed Jameis is out, and so he's gonna have a running quarterback, Thompson Robinson throwing. So I was happy to see that. So I'm hoping that helps out.
Yeah, and maybe most importantly, if James were here, what would you say to him? Yeah, I'm imagining you guys are on it's the weigh-in at the UFC fight, and you're going nose to nose, wondering, who's going to go in for the kiss first. What are you going to say? What do you want to say to him?
Oh man, you know me. I'm not much of a trash talker. Um, it's James, man. It's just, honestly, I respect him just like most in this league. But I probably just give him a friendly a friendly hug and best wishes. And just tell him to take it easy on me with those elite wide receivers. Um, so I know we haven't like really got into the divisional pride, but probably the first time I'm like, this is kind of cool. First year of divisions and both of us in the finals. So, proud that the winner will come out of the Gulf South. So, um, yeah, and I don't know. I want to win really bad. I think it'd be incredible to the bragging rights of back to back in our first three seasons. Um, but it's a little bit of a pressure off. I don't really have to, I don't have to win to be considered a good manager. And so, I'm feeling free, man. Proud of James, but I would love to have the two rings. I just picture myself with the two ring picture sending to you guys.
Holding
So
up
I
like
want it
this.
pretty bad. Yeah, I'll have to look at some poses, and I might do a photo shoot actually. Get
Yeah,
Bulger
shout out to
get
Evan McCants.
yeah, not that kind of photo shoot, but anyway, but yeah, man, it'd be sweet to have multiple rings sitting in the house somewhere.
Yeah, to pull on a thread that you kind of alluded to. You said you respect most in this league. I was just curious if you'd
Mm.
be willing to shout out who you have the least respect for in uh in the rookery.
Oh man, really, no one came to mind. I just these managers that are just in the bottom every year. I mean, come on, like you know who you are. Make better decisions, and uh, yeah, and I mean, and there's I'll say it. That KG trade, you can't give up. What's his face for the Commanders, Jaden.
Hmm.
So there's a shot. Come on, KG, better trades, man. I'm trying to think if I want to call anybody out while I have the chance. Nah, I mean it's just there's guys that are in the bottom, and it's time for y'all to make better moves.
Mm. All right. Well, this is part one of our championship preview that starts tomorrow night, Thursday night. So,
Mm.
Justin, thanks for coming on the rookery. What do we
Yep.
call this? The look at the rook.
Look at the
And
Rook. Yeah, good luck
best
to
of luck.
James, and yeah, y'all got to deal with me in the finals again. So hope you enjoy it. Thanks, Moose.